By day 5, the whole town felt different. The air was sharp, crisp, but the colors were dimming. The reds and golds of November looked dull, like someone had turned down the saturation on the world. CG and Chris drove out to the edge of town to a pumpkin field everyone just called the Hollow. Rows and rows of scarecrows stood guard, their straw faces pointed toward the road. They were checking for any sign of the sound of the harvest, whatever that meant, when something completely unexpected happened. Chris was walking a few feet ahead when he suddenly froze. CG? He said, his voice a little shaky. Did that scarecrow just move? She squinted from the driver's seat. If it waves at you, I'm out, she joked, though her eyes were glued to the figure. Then it happened. The scarecrow tilted its head, a slow, deliberate, and utterly unnatural movement, and in a dry whisper that sounded exactly like rustling corn husks, it spoke. Light the lantern where the sun first kissed the river. Chris jumped back a good 3 feet. Nope, nope, nope. Talking straw guy. I'm out. But CG, half terrified and half completely fascinated, was already stepping out of the truck, staring at it. The river, you mean the Ohio River? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The scarecrow's head turned again, its stitched-on smile seeming to stretch in the fading light. Its voice was carried away by the wind, fading as it spoke, before the frost takes the flame. And just like that, it went still just another scarecrow in a field of pumpkins. But the lantern in CG's hand flared brighter for a second, almost as if it was reacting to the cryptic words. Chris ran a hand over his face, trying to process what he'd just seen. Okay, we're officially in Ghost Quest territory now. A wide grin spread across CG's face. Yeah, she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. But you have to admit it's kind of fun. He sighed, but a small smile betrayed him. He couldn't argue with that. As they headed back to the truck, the last light of sunset caught the fields in a brief, brilliant golden glow, and for just a moment the scarecrow's shadow stretched long and tall across the pumpkins, holding what looked like a single glowing leaf. The mystery was getting deeper, and they were right in the middle of it. If you're as hooked as we are, make sure to follow for day 6. Thanks for watching.